Hi and welcome back to the channel. First of all, an apology. I'm sorry for the late delivery of this video, but I'm sorry to say I've been back in hospital, well, in out, 5 days total. But let me explain. First of all, let me say I'm okay, tired, but I'm generally okay again, which is quite a good thing, naturally. Okay, so on the last day of my first cycle of Capecitabine, Xylota, I started to have worse diarrhea than normal. Had 90% of my colon removed. Diarrhea is normal for me these days. I was told that by my surgeon a couple of days after I'd had the surgery. Not sort of complaining, but there we go. I was given Imodium. Oh, here we go. It's also called loperamide, something like that. I'll stick it up there. As this is known to calm down the diarrhea itself. Problem is, a day and a half later, it was actually worse. Quite a bit. So I went to the emergency room, ER, A&E, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't really matter, the same job. They considered it to be a side effect of the chemo. So sent me home with the same medicine, just more of it. Okay. I hoped it would work. 2 days after that, it was getting so seriously bad, I returned to the ER, A&E emergency room, get all the bit. And they told me exactly the same thing. I kept explaining to them that the Imodium wasn't working. Their comment was, there's no oncologists on call evenings or weekends, wait till Monday. And this was Saturday lunchtime. Not really all of that good. But now to make things a bit clearer. I get it. Doctors who aren't oncologists do know that one of the side effects you can get is diarrhea, so they sometimes can be quick to jump into, oh, well, that's it, that'll do. But if that's the case, normally it would be while you were taking the chemotherapy medicine, like the Capecitabine. This wasn't. Apart from the last day, day 14, the rest of it I was not on chemo meds at all, and yet things were getting worse. Anyway, after 9 days and more than 70 visits to the toilet, yes, 70, I finally got to see my oncologist. I explained to her what went on. She took a closer look at my latest blood test, which was done that morning, and she straight away put me on IV antibiotics. And I mean straight away, we're talking from the time I explained to her about it to them putting a needle in my arm, 15 minutes, something like that. It wasn't long at all. She informed me that it was actually an infection, not something caused by chemotherapy medicines. Basically, something that anybody can get. I just happened to be unlucky to get it while I was on my first cycle of chemo. I spent 3 days in hospital on these meds, IV fluids, because one of the things that happened, I got so dehydrated, I'd actually lost 10 kilos in 9 days, which is pretty much not very good at all. Problem is, the hospital was so busy, there was no room for me on a ward anywhere. So I actually spent 3 days in the ER, A&E, emergency room, whatever you want to call it. So, hospitals around the world get very busy like this. Since I've been out of hospital, where are we? 3 days, 4 days, 4 days. I've been resting up since it took a lot out of me, so to speak. I've managed to put on about 40% of my body weight in fluids again, so that's getting me back to where I need to be. Now, my blood tests at the time, they were pretty good, with my white and blood cell count being in a good position. And the oncologist was saying that basically, if it wasn't for the toiletry expeditions, I would have started cycle 2. So, a bit not so great, but there we go. But I'm going to be seeing her again in a couple of days, new blood tests, and hopefully I can then start. I'm sort of eager to get on with it, but there we are. While I was doing my research into the chemo and what to expect, in particular, I was concerned about the white blood cells count getting low. I found out by listening to an oncologist nutritionalist. It's a mouthful, isn't it? That there's a way to help boost production. Two main things that I normally do seem to help quite a lot. First of all, eggs. Good for the old protein levels and vitamin B12. This helps boost white blood cell count production. The other thing they say is a protein-rich diet. Yep, I do that one as well. So, all in all, that seemed to do quite well, and the oncologist herself was pretty pleased that I was taking a proactive stance on this to try and stop any issues before they happen, or reduce the possibility of anything happening. Let me say, I don't blame the doctors for not spotting the infection. I get it. Yeah, as I've said before, when you're on chemo, non-oncology doctors can be blinded or misguided by chemotherapy drug reactions. The important bit is it's been solved and I'm improving, and that for me is the main thing. So there we are. Now, depending on the next set of blood tests, the next video could be dropped in a few days or maybe about 2.5 weeks. If I'm refused the start of cycle 2, there will be another one later this week. If it's all systems go, the next video will be at the end of the 2-week cycle of Capecitabine Xyloda medicines themselves. So until then, take care, look after yourself.